the 4 C's must be applied, not necessarily one by one, even though we will take one at a time and concentrate on it, but generally we are applying all at the same time. I am right now sighting, and I'm going to break everything down for you in geometric shapes so I can do this drawing. You can see that this first object is circular on top, but when the circle, this is a circle, all objects are circular, bottoms and tops. Most of them are. It could be a rectangle, but this object is a ceramic pot. And on top, this is what happens. You're seeing this not like this, but you're seeing it like this. And as it levels off for you, depending on your height, your position with the object, you will not see a circle anymore. You will see an ellipse. So we have to know how to draw an ellipse. We can't just say, okay, I know this to be a circle, and I must draw a circle, because it would be absurd to do the top of this like this. Okay, the British artist, Turner, very important artist, coined this phrase, which is really crucial, capital for us, and it is, I do not draw what I know, I draw what I see. This means that you're going to have a contradiction in your mind with what you perceive against what you know. Always side with what you perceive, what your eyes are telling you, more than what this is telling you. I'll give you an example, an analogy, okay? You know a table to have 4 legs, and those 4 legs are equal, but when you draw them, you can't draw the 4 legs on a 2-dimensional surface equal, because they would show the table flat. You have to do the back legs, whatever you're seeing in perspective, smaller than the front legs. So this is an example of how you contradict your knowledge with what you're seeing. Okay? When drawing, we can't be static. We sometimes have to move a lot. And one way of doing it is, I'm right-handed. So when I draw, I can do this. But when I get to the left side, it's awkward for me. So I just turn it upside down or turn it sideways and draw this way or this way. Sometimes, for me, it's easier to start here and work my way this way. So this is what I call the shoulders. And if we turn it this way, sometimes you can see that there's a discrepancy between the right and the left side of that jar or that bottle. So I put a straight line down the center, which is what we call a central axis. That central axis allows me to see and judge, is this side equal to this side? And right now it's telling me, no, it's not, they're different. So I'm going to try to use my hand almost like a compass and try to round these sides out a little bit more and make them better. Now, one really important thing, when drawing, you draw through objects to make it work. Now, I draw this like this to make sure that these connect together. Later on, I can erase those. If you can see this, I can put those two together, and then I'll get this part, and it's got to come in here. And we're trying to get that bottle well constructed. So as I draw many lines, and then I'll turn this upside down, and I have my vertical axis, and I know that this is my north. So I always say this to myself. When you're at the North Pole, the only place you can go if you start walking away from the North Pole is south. So as I draw this ellipse down here, this is the low point. Now I'm going south, south, till I meet this other line. And I do that. And I do the same thing here. And I'm going south till I meet that line. So now I've drawn the bottle. And it seems to me that it's good. Any of you, if you want to use a ruler, you can just check yourself by doing this, making sure your lines are right. And if they're not, you just do this. And it helps you to find the spacing or the proper line, right? If what we look for is accuracy, then do not be afraid to use a ruler, to use your eraser. I'm going to get rid of some of the other lines that I've done. Remember, I kept saying that from the very beginning, that a drawing is about making many lines and perfection, or getting closer to what you think it should be by erasing. So I do a lot of lines and I erase and I stay with the best line. Now we can see here that at the bottom I've turned this way and I've turned lower here. This one looks right to me, this one doesn't. So when I look at this, I can even bring this down horizontally and see that this one turned before this one. So I'm going to make that notch there and then start turning from there and coming this way. So I can get rid of some of this. And this is telling me that ellipse is correct. Now sometimes I'll just do this and create the ellipse. I'll draw that and then just create the ellipse from the inside, knowing that this is my high point, this is my low point. So an ellipse, the rest is just connection. Okay? So I'm breaking things down into a cylinder, into an ellipse. Here, up here, I can see that this is different than this side. So I'm going to extend this a little bit more. And I may just take some of this off and turn it quicker. And then turn this. So that's how I start to structure my bottle. Remember, every object that we do here must be believable to the eye and mind. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be believable, acceptable in the mind's eye. Okay? So remember, I've been drawing with this and this. Nobody draws once and then it's perfect. I do many lines, I erase many times. I was once doing a plaster cast in class for my students as a demonstration. And I had to erase that 20 times. And I'm not exaggerating. This is the truth. Until I felt that it got close. It wasn't perfect, but it got close. So do not be afraid to erase. Now, never allow even the thought, the seed to get into the mind that because you erased, you can't do it better. No, every time you erase, it could be better. Because now you have all the experience from the previous mistakes. And it's always about getting closer. That's all. Okay? So, for now, move forward and be creative. Fearless. See you next time.